I am good. I am good. I am good. Finally got a chance to take all these showers. I had to. I took one really good shower because, like, my drain out and my hair's even looking better. My hair is looking better. Um, Everything feels better. I accidentally poured bleach on this shirt and it looks like it was intentionally made that way. Came out like really cool. Uh, I feel happy. Hey, everybody. I feel happy. I happen to have this look going on. I don't know what it is. Um, I'd be just as happy with a regular haircut and like a really nice suit. That was an expensive quality one, but I haven't spent money on clothes in a long time. I tried to get these other black t-shirt A-frame shirts. If you want to know what really happened, I tried to get these other black A-frame t-shirts like I had, and I think they were made in China. And China has, I don't know, they just didn't look right. So I kept the ones that I have. I have like two old ones that I like the way they fit. And I feel happy. I had to work on my house about all day. I had to work on my house all day because I finally got the drain out, cleared out. It was pretty special. It was like I knew where the thing was, and I had not seen any of the underground drain out plumbing stuff. I had not seen. I didn't hear where it was, and I still knew where it was. Somehow, I innately, I somehow earned my brain. I was able to kind of hear without knowing. I was able to hear where it was. I knew it was there, and it had to be cleaned out. And that's what the man did. He came here and worked on it. I got along with him, and he was able to do it in this amazing way. So that was good. And then I had to clean up after all. I had to clean up after all this stuff that I had been like taking less showers. I had been taking less showers, and it was pretty. Hey, man. Hi. Um, do you live in LA? I think you live in LA or something. That's a little more expensive. Um, do you actually live in LA, Nate? Um, or you don't have to say if you don't feel like saying, but so I worked on my house and then I had kept having to go back and take showers because I thought, oh, that's all I'll do, and then I ended up taking 4 showers. Wow, cool. You live in LA. That's a little harder to pay your bills there, I've heard. Well, I know. Um, there's a lot of movie jobs and stuff there, but I miss my kids. I'm gonna try to go see my kids. Burbank, Glendale, or somewhere like that. Who knows? Closer to the side of the valley, 10 minutes away. Maybe North Hollywood, the valley, down in Hollywood. I lived in Burbank. I lived in Burbank 2 different times. And I started to move there in 2015. And as soon as I got there, I left in a few days. I went back home and I had to get to work really hard on this stuff for like, oh, anyway. But I'm not doing any more work stuff now. I'm just taking a break. I'm going to work later. Sunland. I know where that is. I just saw a property listed in Sunland. It said it was only $45,000, but I think they put up fake listings to try to take money transfers from people or something like that. And I don't know. But I noticed all these listings, um, and they were like only 40,000, under 200,000 tons of them, some 130,000, 80,000, 40 something thousand, and I don't know if they're real or not because they're on Zillow and Trulia, which lists real estate and other sites like that. However, they may or may not be in the official MLS in LA, and you have to talk to a real estate agent before you buy a house there. You can't just try to buy one without a real estate agent. So, because they have the real listings, they have all the real listings. Hey. Thanks. I don't know if I'm gonna go to LA or not. I don't know. I'm waiting on Danica. Adam Ritchie, he's he noticed my music. I guess it's showing up. I don't know on the when other people's it got on YouTube somehow. They put it all on YouTube, but I was just putting it on iTunes. I really want to get to my children, and I think when I can get vaccinated, I'll go there or figure out a way to get there. And I don't feel it's safe for me to travel there right now. Um, with COVID-19 being out there a lot. Unless I had a home, unless she was like, okay, you can stay at my house again. She let me stay there before, like a year and a half ago. She let me stay there, something like that, a year and a half or something ago. It was about, I don't know, about a little while ago. And it was like a year and a half ago or two, most 2 years now, or a year and something. Um, but she might let me stay at her house. Then I can stay there and have a place where I can stay. And I know, okay, I don't have to go out a lot because I don't know how COVID-19 would affect me, but I don't know. But I have a feeling that it's pretty serious stuff, and I don't know how I'd be able to get through it unless I was like more athletic. If I had been eating a bunch of heavy food or something, I think, I don't know if it would kill me or something. I don't know. Or, it can do permanent damage to people, but it's not that bad. Maybe. I don't know. So I want to wait till it's right, and for other reasons, I want to get there and see Ivan and Rowan and Danica and the baby. So I feel a lot better. I think I look a lot better. Cool. Okay. So you're probably not going to get it. Something weird happened with the Johnson and Johnson one. I don't know. They got rid of 85% of it next week or for a few weeks now or next week or something. So I don't know what happened. They stopped putting it out there as much. The other ones are the really good ones. Pfizer and the other one are 90 something percent effective, but some people don't even get a vaccine. I've been happy. I haven't been sad. I had a period of being sad for 2 years. I had a period of being sad for 2 years about every day when my children were taken. For some reason, I feel okay now. Really? Oh, Walmart and CVS? I think Al Bob's coming back. He says, but he said he was before and he didn't. And now he really is. I think he really is now. I think. He called me yesterday and was pretty sure. And he has like an intuition for when everything's okay here. Um, and it was, and I don't know, he just chose to be that way and somehow, like, I don't, it's like if something is a wrong situation for him at a at a physical place to live in, like there's going to be some, the power's going to go on or something like that. He, just because of the way he believes in things somehow and what he's been through, somehow he leaves. He can tell, oh, this is going to get bad, and then he leaves. But that's not why, I don't think that's why I left here, but he did leave here before for one thing like that. When it was a storm and the power went out and it was like really cold, and he started acting like I don't know. But he's probably coming back. He's probably going to come back finally. I hope he gets into heaven and gets to see his wife. I think he had a special wife he was married to, really special wife. Because when I first met him, he would still, it was like 20 years after she died, and he'd still get little tears in his eyes, and I could tell it was because he missed his wife, but he didn't know it was like a reaction. It was, tears would start coming down from his eye, and he didn't like to talk about her very much, and he kept her very private. But he'd always talk about his other wife that didn't matter as much, his not real God-given wife. So he hasn't had a long-term relationship after that. But I'm different from him. He owned this house. He owned this house. So I bought it from him, and that's how I met him. And he I don't know what that means. I don't know that. I might teach at a college. I used to try so much, and then, but now I think they'd hire me probably. I'm just gonna take a break. I'm not gonna think about it too much. Beer, sweet beer. No, no, no. Good old beer, sweet beer. No, I haven't drank. Well, I don't know, something like that, but I don't know. No, he. That's a nice thing to say. I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe that would be great if somebody did that. Sounds good out there. Um, I'm gonna open this. I can hear the birds. Sounds pretty good. Whoa. Phew. Excuse me. No. Oh. Yeah, I can't just settle for anyone though. I think Al is the person to be around. I think Al is the person to be around, and my family. Hopefully, my kids move here. Hopefully, my kids move here. Maybe. Hey. Oh, it looks like it's okay. It's like Europe here. It's like the countryside in Europe a little bit, but it's America. I'm gonna check. Oh man. I was gonna respond. I can just be around Al, and until I get to be with my kids in Danica. That's what I'm gonna do. I believe that's what I'm gonna do. It's up to God. I don't know. Wow. I don't want it to go. I don't want this video to be ruined. I look good in it, but it may go down. I filmed this video because I finally got clean enough and felt happy enough about my appearance. And I was like, wanted to socialize. a little bit, but I don't care about like when people get excited and want to meet somebody to hook up with or something. I don't care about doing it for me. I don't want to do it. I mean, there are times when like once every few months or so, I'll think, yeah, like the idea of being with somebody in real life. Whoa, the heck? Mutate sounds like a nice person. I don't know. I hope he. He sounds pretty. Maybe it's a girl. I don't know who he is. I think it's a he. He's a he. Uh, I still kind of, I still kind of get along with Corey. Oh, I think Mutate is young, like the oldest 30s. I don't know. That's what I think. Cool. You know, I have a really good friend who's a skateboarder. He lives in Ohio. No one would know who he is besides me when I'm talking about him on here. I really love and care about him, and I hope he's okay. I think he's gonna make it into heaven. I think. I don't know, but he's a good friend, and that's no. I think he'll make it into heaven somehow. He's a little different from me in stupid ass ways that don't matter. But I have these different friends I grew up with, but they're not like my wife and children. Who I don't know if she's my wife. Um, biblically or not, but I think she is. I don't know. I'm pretty happy. Something made me happy. Like, gosh, I miss my neighbor a little bit. I don't know. Something happened to him and he just left the neighborhood. I hope he's okay. I don't know. This is so weird. The lead singer of the Misfits, when he was young, the Danzig guy, his hair, he tried to make it look like a fly. I, I don't know why oh, I guess he just he serves God. We all serve God, but I can't imagine it. I don't know, but we all serve God whether or not we know it. Um, in our own way, it's all part of God's plan on earth and heaven. Even the I can't imagine when people the devil try to mess things up and be mean about everything. But I don't know. But it's God's plan on earth and in heaven. Hi. Hi. I'm looking pretty good. I feel happy about my appearance. I'm able to finally take showers as much as I feel, as long as I feel. Um, I had this problem with the house. The main line out had some weird problem that under the ground somewhere it was stuck. It had never been. It was messed up, and all these. Well, I got the septic person to take all the stuff out of the septic tank, the septic company. That was something. And then all this other, my dad originally helped come over, and before that I had been working on it for months. With my own snake. I got a snake and this other smaller snake, and it just kept hitting something. And then the really high powered thing that shoots all the stuff out, this really good company, came here and he tried it, and it was stopping. It still wouldn't go through. And then we listened to it. We walked out. We found where it was, and he dug a little. He dug a little. He was an expert on it, but I knew like where the stuff was. I had like this. I knew where the stuff was. Even when I first got the house, it had another problem like that, and I knew where it was, and I talked to this really professional plumber and got him to fix it right where the problem was. And this one was another one that was different. And he dug up the thing. He unscrewed this little connecting pipe, this big connecting pipe piece that was plastic, and he took it off. He took it off, and he ran the thing in there and fixed it. That was yesterday, and he fixed the whole thing. He fixed the whole thing. He finally fixed the whole thing, and I didn't have to do any more effort on it. And then today I spent the whole day cleaning up after all this stuff that was like, had been not, couldn't use as much water. I was using less water so it wouldn't go into the drain. And um yeah, there's somebody on there listening who might, I don't know. Yo, skinny arm. No, I can't do that. I can't. It's a strong arm. It is a strong arm. What the heck? Now it looks skinnier. Shit. Well, it's so strong anyway. Um, Usually I'm way stronger than most people. I can't believe that I would look skinny. Um, 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 uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. Um, my city rocks. My city rocks, Houston. Well, these happen to be the clothes I'm wearing now. If I don't know if it's possible. It's possible. I one day want to make a lot of money again. But maybe, at the I'd like to make more money again. I don't know. But maybe I've been doing okay this whole time. But I gotta worry about money because I had let it all go instead of pushing it a lot and working at it really hard. I was still working at it really hard, but I wasn't um, thinking really, I wasn't thinking like trying to use the secret, which is wrong, to try the law of attraction or something like that, to try to make it into a reality, because I had abused that when I was younger. Tried to think it with all my might to make it into a reality, working at it as hard as I could, with every, like, any way that I could try to figure out making it as, making it work. But then I left it all in God's hands. I left it all in God's hands. But I still worked just as hard, but I left it all up to God. And I was like, well, if I'm poor, I'm poor. It's up to God. It says for richer or poorer in the Bible. And eventually our faces are going to get old. So I was kind of like left that in the hands of God, and might look old or not. And I wasn't aware of it, and didn't really try to look young and good. But somehow I look okay. Somehow I look okay now. So I guess that law of attraction stuff isn't real. Because it's the devil can empower people with nonsense beliefs. Like this Sharpie. I don't know. It's, it cannot make sense, but then, like a person who doesn't understand what it's really about could try to use that as their belief, and the devil could really empower them on earth to do it, and hurt others to do it, and sin, and trick them into sinning and being mean about it. And then they could get up to, well, a few $100,000, however much, on earth. But then as soon as they die, they're judged. The devil can offer any earthly thing, but then when they die, they will be judged by God. And then he tricked them. The devil tricked them. He has them down in hell to do weird ass shit to them, with thousands of demons, weird stuff, like keeping them in the horrors that 10 or 100 or thousands of times worse than they can imagine, to make them constantly suffer with their soul, which lasts forever. Our souls last forever. Our souls last forever. It's eternal. I happen to look good in this video. I don't know why I chose to make a video about me looking good, but I might take it down. Maybe it's better to show myself. The video that I really spent a lot of effort on before this, I was like, oh, you can see I'm a 43-year-old man, however old I am, but you can see my flaws and stuff more. But I spent effort on it, promoting my movies, and she is. No. Well, I'm gonna go probably. I'm gonna try to zoom in. Wow, springtime stuff. Yeah, whatever it is. Oh. Yeah, I was really worried. I had gained weight. And then I got up to the heaviest I'd ever been. And then I was like, it took me a few months to realize, wait a second, let's face reality here. I was spaced out on caffeine. I was not really, I was capable of doing things, but I was having like between 5 cups on a small day of caffeine and 40 something cups, or maybe more, but more than 30 cups of coffee a day. And I had quit my psychiatric meds that I was on for years, for 10 years or 12 years. And I was just drinking well, I didn't. And I tried to just work out a ton all the time. I was trying to lose body fat. And there were moments, there were days when it was like it looked really good. It wasn't all of it, but there were some days I had where I was like, wow, it actually looked pretty good. And I got good at playing music, making it up as I go. I could just play. And I filmed some of it. And then something happened. So weird. I got a little ticket. It's like a ticket, for driving, a small thing. Actually, a small thing. Um, and it had me so worried because I could not go. I was so hyped up on caffeine and no medicine that I just stayed out here. And I gotta take this fucking video down probably. But then I could not go anywhere in public unless, like, it felt so bad, and I was like, why do I have to do this? So I used it to, when I went out in public, I could barely go out in public and actually achieve things around people. I could constantly work at video. I could work at videos and do tons of videos and work out a bunch. And I did that earlier this year. But then when it came to doing actual, like, and I left it all in the hands of God. Like, I might get old, might not, might die, might be dead. Yeah, it's up to God. But, man. And then, but see, the only places I could go were places I had to. And I didn't see any reason to do it unless I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was so weird. I don't. Then it was like I went back on the medicine again for a while, and then I was like, geez, this is nothing to worry about. I was so worried about the littlest touchy things. I thought it was like I didn't suffer that much. Then I don't know, no. But in earlier years, a few years earlier, I had been really worried. I didn't know how to get to my kids or something. And that went away, just went away in time. But it took 2 years of every day. My wife and children were taken away from me. The ones who I went to with everything, who no one else understood, were taken away from me. I had no one. Tried to go to anyone else, my parents, Al, random people. They're about 20%, 10% of the love that I got from my family. So it felt so alone and horrible, just so alone. And then somehow it went away. I don't know how. I stopped working on videos. I worked on videos all last year, or for a year, and that kept me happy for a while. Then I pushed a little too hard. Every time I went out in public, I'd set up a camera when I hardly ever went out in public because I thought I wasn't allowed to film there. So I thought, what's the use? And then I tried to have it film in a live video or film in a video every time I tried to go out in public to make it enjoyable because I thought that's when and that kind of messed up because that was like, that's not what life is about. Your work, I think. It's different. Well, I know it's different. I know your life is different from your work. You are not synonymous. Your soul is not synonymous with, your work on earth. I had to learn that. I've long since learned that. Um, there are times when it's like really inappropriate to film things or film videos or film. There are times when it's really inappropriate to film. It's wrong. Like, and that's how it is. That's just how it is. You're not supposed to film some things. You're not supposed to film some things. That's just how that is. You can't film some things. It's kind of wrong. And I had to realize that long ago, but then I kind of fell back in the habit. I didn't even know I was doing it, but I kept working at the video, wanting to get more views, and it just wasn't getting near as many views as I had worked on it because I did a lot of videos, and it just, I don't know why. I did that time. It was like, Some of it's gone pretty big, but what is the point of going big? Why would somebody want to go so big? It's about feeling happy, however big or small or whatever level it's at. It's about feeling happy and enjoying the sounds of nature with somebody to share it with or by yourself and being kind and not sinning as much, not being a mean ass, not, or living in a small way, trying to do God's work when you can. But sometimes you get to rest and it's okay, but you got to do your best work, God's work on earth. That's what it's really about, is doing your best God's work. It's a narrow road, it's a narrow path, the door to get into heaven. It's very difficult. And most people take the wide road, which is like lost, and they can fall off the bandwagon when they don't know how to really act, how to really be. They might be kind now, they're probably kind now, but here and there, oh, crazy, really mean. And, they might find some way of shit. And it's just terrible. It's way worse than anything imaginable. And but when you follow God and Jesus, and that's what it's about, then you're kind as much as you can. Um, he's talking and talking. He's talking and talking. He's probably gonna have to take the video down. Somebody threw a fart. Somebody farted. The neighbor probably farted. He was talking. Somebody farted. Somebody farted. He's probably gonna have to take the video down. Is what John thinks, because he's talking like the person who tried to fart on him because it's a white fart. It's a white fart. Put it down the mouth of a minority. It's a white fart. You can tell. And then one time, crazy as it sounds, person farted. You believe that? Black person fart smelled the same way as a white fart. He was inside her and he tricked you. The smell of a fart. How crazy it is. Oh, gee, I gotta go. I'm afraid. You know, you'd be surprised however much money or little money you have, there are things you can enjoy on earth and be kind to others and good things on earth, and it's not really that bad. I don't know. Trying to take all the glory. That's what a human would try to do, take all the glory for himself. I can't make fun of God. Sometimes when you see God forgives you, he forgives some blasphemy. That's how kind he really is. He forgives some blasphemy. That's sometimes forgivable, but when you really find God and Jesus and know what it's all about, you shouldn't do that as much. Like, because oh, that's me. There are times when I have been so into the Bible, I don't know. It's going to look so beautiful here in summertime, like a rainforest and a bird sanctuary that is so special that it's one of the most, well, it's my personal favorite. I don't know, other people may not like it as much, but there's something about it here in the summertime. It was always a summer house. And did people ever live here in the wintertime? I can't imagine how they kept it warm enough. Must have had, I don't know. But it was built, it's in the summertime here. I like it. And I don't like the wintertime that much. I don't know, maybe I just don't like the wintertime that much. Unless it's, no, I don't want it. Summer, I want it. No, I'm mentally, I don't. Oh. It's a wonder I'm still alive, how kind I am. I'm not some jerk that tries to. I don't try to act like those snotty nosed pervert guys that try to have sex with somebody who's young. Gross. I don't do that. You don't hear that when you hear me talk because I'm so kind. I don't say I'm trying to do that. Because one time I caught myself doing it when I was much younger. I looked at the pole, at the new, at the, no, I don't do that anymore. Figure out a way to just, I don't even want or have any reason to do that ever again. No desire for it. I know it's wrong. And that's what life is about. Getting to the place where you don't sin. You don't sin as much in habits. You don't make habits out of the sin. You're okay. Here and there we mess up because we are human and all humans sin, but you mostly know what it's about. You're still on earth. You're still on earth as a human who sins sometimes, but you try your best to not sin. And when you do enough of God's work and you figure out, oh, those really big sins that I was doing wrong, those are like the way I was all those years growing up. I was such a humble person, and I would, make little loud sounds, and I didn't sound the most knowing what I was talking about, and I was like, gosh, how did he even make it through that? Because I was so kind to everybody else, but maybe the whole time those people may live to be a long time. I don't know, but I have felt really healthy on eating a bunch of food. Crazy. Never would have thought. But it was borderline not the healthiest. Something happened and I got so sad, and it lasted a while. Anyway, but um I kept working out as much as I could. I don't know why, but and I'd make sure to eat the bulk of it in protein. And then I got the strongest I've ever been without knowing it. But I didn't, I didn't have that. I had more body fat. I didn't look like one of those people who has a skinny waist with a inch. I'm grateful for whatever I have. I'm grateful for whatever I have, but I got to do more. Right? I want to do. There are things I want to do on Earth now, and I'm happy to be alive because I have a reason to look forward to realistic things that I'm able to do, and I don't know, because God knows, and Jesus knows. I know a lot compared to most people. You know why? Because I found God in Jesus. That's why. Because I found God in Jesus. And I understand more about God in the Bible. And there are things on earth that I'm good at that I'm supposed to do, um, to work at. Um, but that's not what it's mostly about. It's mostly about doing God's work on earth. The other stuff, we don't know if it's going to happen or not in the way that we plan, that we think our plan is. See, you're not supposed to trust your own plan as much. Um, God's plan is a really important one. Is the real is what it's supposed to be. Is God's plan for us? So we think, oh, whatever we're thinking that's so important, that we want to do, God has a different plan for us usually. It makes us do all these different things that we're like, wow, why? Because it's about kindness to others and doing what's really good and kind, and sometimes suffering, actually, repenting or feeling bad for the things we did, or doing those things on earth so we don't have to do it in hell. You know, you imagine those people that have to do it in hell forever because they live their whole lives like meanness trying to, and no one can judge them besides God. When we die, God, but some of them fall off the bandwagon. They cannot. They think they can't handle the suffering anymore, and they start being mean as anything. Sometimes in their thoughts, so they don't get in trouble for it. And they keep being mean and mean, really mean. And some of them may go to hell. I can't tell them to go to hell, but some of them may be on their way. And sometimes demons have a stronghold on them, and they keep doing that occult stuff, and they don't understand. They don't see the truth, really God's truth, which is what reality is. I don't know if I can do it anymore, but it's that's how it felt. That's how it felt for. It doesn't feel like it anymore. It feels okay now. Something, a miracle happened of some different miracle. I don't know that some miracle happened, but I don't know. Yeah, it, wasn't anything selfish. The devil does selfish stuff. He's the best at being selfish. He serves himself. But we don't serve ourselves. We serve God and Jesus, because that's always okay. That's always okay. Because God's good. And I don't fight those mean, bad devil people. I don't hurt them. I try to be kind to them. Here and there I mess up, and I might say shit, the devil, shit, or some weird thing like that, trying to blame it on them, like the mean, evil people and the demons and stuff. And I think that it comes back to hurt me a little bit. But I'm just a human, and there's only so much I can do. And then it's just like, wow, it was so horrible for so long. Those demons, like, and stuff. Well, they fell from heaven and they turned into demons and the devil. And I don't want to fight them and be mean to them, because God says to be kind to others. But you just get away from them and you trust in God and Jesus. Trust in God and Jesus. And then everything will be okay. God, mostly God and Jesus. Jesus is really good, and the Holy Spirit. And then then you're safe. Usually, when you're kind to others and you live God and Jesus' word is shown to us in the Bible. New Testament mostly. But we're human. We mess up a little bit. You got to try your best to not. It's really hard. Narrow is the path to heaven. It's difficult to get in. You got to do your best God's work. It's not easy. But then you'd be surprised at, well, sometimes it gets good and okay, and it's not always really difficult. That's the amazing thing. And, you know, there are times when it's been years of not being able to see that, not being able to understand that, years of it every day. I don't know how I lived. And I don't know. And when we die, well, why? Wow, wow, wow. Oh, no. I know. I know what I'm talking, everything I was talking about. Um, sometimes, I'm a human, I'm flawed. I guess I'm not a prophet. I'm not even a prophet. There's no way any of us can be Jesus. He's already in heaven right now. We're human unless Jesus hears us. We can't be Jesus. We can't be John the Baptist from the Bible. He was a different person, even though we're named John, or whatever what your name may be. Uh, you can get into heaven even when you don't. Some people can get into heaven when they don't follow God and Jesus, but usually you have to believe in God and Jesus. You have to believe in Jesus. Jesus. That's the way. Those other religions, so few of them get into heaven. But it's possible. It's possible. It's possible for them to get. I mean, it says right there in the Jewish books that they believe in, the Old Testament. It says right there, um, Olam Haba is their heaven, and very few of them got there. Most of them were in hell, either waiting. Back before Jesus's time, they were waiting to see when Jesus lived lived on earth and lived, and they're waiting to see when they're judged whether they'd go to heaven or hell. But um, Jesus was friends with the Jews. He was friends with all the sinners, the people who either were Jewish or non-believers back then. And some of them got into heaven even when they were like prostitutes. Unlikely when they really make a habit, some of them, but it's possible. And he said that some of them get into heaven after, well, it's more likely, much more likely to, it's much more likely when you believe in Jesus to get into heaven and you live Jesus's way. Much more likely to get into heaven, I'd say. But everyone's different and sins and is kind in their own way and may have different things they go through on earth. And it's possible for, I don't know, but you don't want to get misled into some mean way of living. That's work of unrighteousness, but you're probably not going to do any of that. You're not going to do any of that, I hope. I think probably not. I'd say from what I was thinking, but you know, just keep trying to be kind to others. It's possible getting it. You know, I don't know who gets into heaven, but they say but the Bible says that more people will believe in Jesus get into heaven. You know, there's some people who are gay and you know, fornicators, or people sin and they mess up, but you got to try to not do it and really do your best when you can. But hey, if it's been a long time of feeling so horrible and you barely made it through, it might be or you think you barely made it through, but maybe you're doing better than you thought. I don't know. And um, maybe I was doing way better than I thought, and I didn't even know. I don't. Oops. And then, I don't know. Yeah, crazy. But the caveman stuff, the caveman. Oh man, yeah, white caveman. Shit, dad ain't. But oh no, I know. She white caveman, yeah. He made fun of us all, man. Sure. But that's wrong. The caveman doesn't exist. Jesus, well, no, not Jesus. God created Adam and Eve. He really created Adam and Eve. And it makes sense. It makes really good sense when you think about it, even on a scientific level. I think, from what I understand, I think, but it may have been a little different. Uh, it may have been 100 and something thousand years, 120 to 140,000 years ago when humans were created. And when you look up all the evidence of things that were found, like cave paintings and stuff, they cannot accurately carbon date something to billions of years. They can't take a rock and look at it and study it and say, this is billions of years old, from fucking looking at it in the past 200, 300 years of technology at 300 measly little years and know that it was billions of years old. That's a bunch of bullshit. The same as they thought smoking cigarettes was healthy in the 60s or 40s. Or it's the wrong technology, and it's just wrong. Creationism is correct. Creationism is correct. Gosh. God created Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve lived back then before the devil got them to sin and made them do incest. They had eternal life in paradise, eternal life. And when he got them to sin, it caused their bodies to deteriorate and die and get old and get sick. So they died at about age 900 or 1,000 something. And then they committed a sin, incest. Their children committed a sin, not them. They didn't do it, but their children committed a sin, incest, to make more generations. And that, as we know, causes people to live not as long. It causes birth defects and stuff when people do it nowadays. It's really bad. But back then it wasn't quite as bad. It was a little different, but it was bad. And it caused them to live, through the generations down to 800 years, 700 years old. And they kept getting younger they kept dying sooner until the life expectancy turned to about, the most you could live is 120, but mostly like 80, 70 something, 70 something, 80, 90, or 870, or however much it is. And some people die young, and that that is how I don't know, but I know that that is true. Creationism is true. Creationism is what it's that's what it's shown in the Bible. And some of the Old Testament is wrong, but a lot of the Old Testament is right. And showing God as a vengeful God is wrong. He's not a vengeful God. He's a kind God. He's responsible for all that's good. And the devil tried to be big and fucking mean, but really he tried to hurt others and be mean by getting more and try to overcome God. And so he was sent down to earth with all the angels who he tricked into meanness, 33 million angels, and they became demons in hell, and they try to get humans to sin more. Well, they got humans to sin, and humans die now and age, and get sick and die and age. And they had eternal life originally, Adam and Eve and their children. And I think that was, I don't know who else could have, but that's not how it was. How it really is that all of us got created from Adam and Eve, and we're on earth, and that's about it. And I don't try to act like a cool person, but I still get to feel happy about like the way I did when I was a kid sometimes. And God looks at us all as children. We're children of God. He sees us as innocent children who know not what we do when we mess up and stuff. And we're all his children. We're all God's children. However old we are. So I'm gonna go. I'd like to talk to people more and stuff. I don't know. But it has been, I don't know. It got good again somehow. It was so bad for so long. Well, again, for like 3 months or 2 months or however long. Then it got okay again. And I know cursing's bad, but that's my own stupid way of sin. I don't know how to stop doing it. It's maybe not as bad as I think. I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad. I don't know. Why would somebody getting it up in the ass of a man? No. Why do people want to get into a butt? What? A butt. Yeah, get a butt. No. that's looked at as like a little bit more of a sin than regular having sex. But anyway, it's really actually starting to get beautiful again. Gosh. No. I'm afraid. I don't know. But we're looked at as God's children, like we're children, but we're on earth. Our children answer to their parents. There are some exceptions. God allows different exceptions because we all kind of sin. We all sin. We all sin, but we try to not sin. We try to not sin, but we're all sinners. So there are all different types of people that don't necessarily do things exactly by all the good that's shown to us in the Bible. Um, there are different types of people who uh, hmm, I hope I don't like start drinking or something. I've never had a problem with being a drinker because my parents didn't really drink. I don't want to do that. I can't imagine drinking the hard liquor. That stuff is dangerous because for me, personally, I don't really do it. That stuff, geez, why would it? I don't know. Take a swig of whiskey. No, I don't want any of that garbage. That's not the way to live. Jeez, that'd be a short life. Most of the time, being healthy, that's not the. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta pee. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave so people can watch. I'm gonna leave or not watch. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Okay. Oh. Okay. I feel okay somehow. You know, it had something to do with being very kind, very kind.
He is good. He doesn't have any of that. What? Do that day. Good one day, do that. He is good. He is good. He's a bunny rabbit. He's a bunny rabbit. He's a big bunny rabbit. I don't know.
I ain't gay. It's for my kids. I ain't gay.
No, he is good. He is good. He is good. He is good. What is he doing? He's good.
He has a good life here. It's about being kind to others. It's about being kind to others. And not sinning as much. It's possible to be a kind, good person away from people more. But be kind to them every chance you get. I got a little misled when I was younger. A few years ago. 5 years. 5 years. It started the end of 2014. Took a few years before I could even tell anyone the horrors of hell that I had seen out there. People pulled up on crosses and stuff like that. It got me to be the way I was out of fear. That wasn't really me. That wasn't me. That was a fear-driven version of me, hiding my real self far inside. I was like a homophobe Republican of all things. Never would have thought I would, as an artist and into borderline. People thought I was gay the whole time. It didn't bother me. I was kind anyway and nice in my own little way. I sinned here and there. There were 3 times that I sinned at different times because I had been led astray from God and Jesus. But when I found God and Jesus,
He is good.
when I found God and Jesus,
Oh, he is good.
it was like I can't believe I became that way. I had never been that way till about the end of 2014. And then a little bit stupid. It's wrong. You don't want to do that. You don't want them to do this to your brain and make you go forth with it. A different shit. That's wrong. That was horrible. what was I thinking? I hadn't found God in Jesus. I hadn't found God in Jesus. My appearance doesn't matter as much, I know. But I still get to look okay enough, I guess. Somehow that's like something I get to do. It's something a little important for me. That's how it says in the Bible. It's a little important. But it's I had to go across country willing for them to do the horrors to me in these underground facilities. I thought they were Illuminati facilities where they keep me alive with genetic manipulation, keep me in little cages. These horrific things they would do to me. I was willing for all that to happen to me, like Jesus going across country. It's kind of minorities in any political group I may have been mean to. As big a way as I was able to, without feeling any personal gratification from it. And that made up for most of my sin. Thought for sure I'd get into heaven after that. I kept getting the idea, yeah, if I died, I'd get into heaven, but I don't know. God will judge us when we die, and we'll either go to heaven or hell. But I was willing to have those horrors happen to me for hundreds of years, if I had to make sure those minorities and people who I had been mean to in my thoughts at a political level, covering it up with lies so I didn't get in trouble, like the devil and his demons who tricked me, I think, into following the law while hurting others is brutal. Like, they really did something to me. Had me almost like a puppet of my asshole, like a homophobe. It was horrific, nightmarish, blaming as many others as I could. It was like really bad. And the way that happened was by not following God and Jesus, by not knowing what the Bible says, by not knowing what the New Testament says. And I found out the truth about it. It's impossible to go down there. I can't go down there on earth or in this life, almost impossible. They're not going to bring me down to those Illuminati facilities. It's hell. It's real hell. And you get there by being mean to others and by sinning. I found the truth, God's truth, as shown to us in the Bible. It's not about my films being famous. It's not about having to look a little better now. I was under a lot of stress for a while. I haven't felt that unhealthy, even though I was eating a bunch of food. Just because I had this incredible need to eat that much food, I think. But I could have controlled it a little bit, but it would have been so... I didn't know if I was able to do it. I did the best that I could. I was already suffering for this worry and stuff, and it was like, I did the best that I could, and I just gained a little weight. No. I had to learn Well, I think when I met my wife, or when God put us together, we're all gonna get old. You think that's not gonna happen? Sure. This will look like a old may I don't know. It may not look like a chicken neck, but you could die before then, but you don't want to do some bird brain idiot. I don't I look pretty good in this video. I got to take a bunch of showers again. Yo, I'm willing to. I went across the country trying to act as much as I could like a minority. I said, Me llamo Juan, in the very rural South. Some places that would be scary to realize that they were still kind of like the segregation days. Those places really existed when I got there, but it's different. I think it's different. It's not that way now. It's not the segregation days. They would hang people and stuff back then. They don't do any of that in real life. They may try to make someone feel bad or something, but it's not going to do anything. I don't know. But I tried to tried to stand up for. I tried to be as Jesus like as I could in as big a way as I could through all those places till they brought me to a hospital. They strapped me into a thing and I tried to break free and they wrestled me to the ground. Kept trying to stand up for minorities. They sat me in a wheelchair in a hospital and wanted me to sign documents. And I said, will I be able to get out of here? It felt like it was a weird, hellish place for what I had done across the entire South, part of the South. I don't know how big or small it was. It doesn't have to go that big. However it had to be to make up for the thing that I thought was so big and important to be so, those stupid things that don't matter. As much unless you're really good at your work. Unless you're really good at your work. It's difficult to admit that these bodies will get old and die. But our souls are forever. And it's not a selfish thing. It's about how to really be. How to really be in heaven. And it sounds almost selfish, but it's about kindness to others. In heaven, they don't want, this is a weird way to look at it. It's kind of selfish, but it's your truth and a different way to look. They don't want anyone there who would hurt anyone else. They want no sin there. They want you to figure out how to be kind to everybody else. They want you to figure out how to be kind to everyone else and not sin in ways that you know are wrong, unless it's in small ways that are forgiven when you get into heaven. When you get into heaven. And the sin is not what it's about. There's no sin in heaven. You can't act that way. You got to figure out, okay, those aren't ways that you be on earth. You're kind to others and you don't sin. You're kind to others. That's the main thing. And forgiving them when they're mean to you and they keep being mean to you. Forgiving them. Say, they didn't mean to. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of God's work on earth. It's a lot of God's work. And then you get to rest sometimes when you really can't go on anymore. You can ask God and Jesus, how it'll ever, and when you think it can't be okay, you're like, how am I ever going to do this anymore? It's so difficult and you can barely go on. And you're like, yeah, it's so horrible, and you don't know how you'll make it. Then you ask God and Jesus for it to be okay. And he'll help you every time. Then it'll feel okay. And every time God and Jesus will help you. As long as you are kind and doing God's work, you have to be somewhat godly, kind to others, and trying your best to be kind to others, no matter how easy or difficult it is. And you're doing your best God's work. And when it's like really difficult to go on, but you don't want to make too much of a habit of that. You know, calm down and feel okay for a while. Just it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It tells about in the New Testament. That's what it's really about. The New Testament, some of the Bible, the actual Bible. The Old Testament is somewhat wrong, but some of it's really true. And God had prophets who were just regular men write the Old Testament. And then when that wasn't quite all the way it had gotten a little bit weird, that he sent Jesus. He sent Jesus there to make everything okay. He sent his only son to suffer and go through difficulty and try his best. Jesus did his best on earth and to make sure we'd all be okay. And there is this man who, this is the type of thing maybe don't put in the video, but it's important. It's really important when I'm telling everyone now, but I might have to put it on private later. But there's this guy who was like really kind of white and southern. I thought he was because I'm Italian. My parents are from the north. And he is having difficulty a little bit in a little older age. And I think he'll get into heaven, but I don't know. And I blocked him again because when I unblocked him and reached out to him with all I had and tried to make sure, I hope he was okay with a really Jesus-like thing, all this horrible stuff happened to me. This horrible stuff happened to me for like 2 months. It was so unimaginably horrible. And thousands of people attacked me online on Facebook. I had to quit my Facebook channel. I had a group with 8,000 members, and most of them turned on me, like 5,000 of them, more than 5,000 or 4,000 something of them. And they were all so mean. And it was like after they did all that to me, they started cancel culture. This was a couple months ago, how mean they were to me. I don't know why. I guess when you try to be a public figure and you really try to do that, maybe have some effect, even though it's in a little small way. I'm only getting like 100 views. I'm only getting like like 200, a few hundred views or something like that. But people see it here and there. You know, I have millions of views, close to 100 million views. But on my new videos, I've only been getting a few hundred views, or like 80 views. Some of the less ones, or, you know, it's not that much. It's not making as much as I would like the really famous people or whatever. But this guy, Adam Beck, is really white, Southern, I think. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think he has his own things he's going through. But I had blocked him, but he's a really kind person. I think he might, I think he's getting to heaven, but I don't know. Because when I unblocked him, um, all this horrible stuff happened to me. It was so difficult. But maybe I gave him some of my life, and he really was okay again when he thought he was at the end of his life. But there's only so much that I can handle. And and then I blocked him, and then I got good again. I don't know how it happened. I blocked him, and then my life got good again. The worry went away. It was like I thought I'd have to leave Virginia, go to California, sell my special, beautiful house here in Virginia. It's godly. That's why I said beautiful. And because my wife and kids might be here, because Danica. And, but I don't know. I might unblock him again. I don't know if it had anything to do with it. But he's a good person. I think he's going to get into heaven. He really believes in Christianity. He really believes in Christianity. But something about it, I think I reached out to him too much with all the life I had to try to save him when he was bedridden near the end of his life. And I don't know how that had an effect on him. Maybe he's doing the same. I don't know how at all. But I got worried because all this bad stuff happened to him, had happened to me. All this bad stuff happened to me when I added him as a friend again, because I had found God in Jesus, and I thought, well, what could be wrong with reaching out to him in kindness? So I reached out to him in kindness with everything I had, and then all this bad stuff happened to me, and then I was worried that my life got so bad. I I I I don't know if I should have done it or not, but but my hair is starting to get better again. I like it to look good, but it's not, it doesn't always look the best. So you finally take a regular showers again, a lot, enough, or whatever, however much I'm supposed to. It sucked. I was living like taking a shower after I unblocked the guy, or I was taking I had to the plumbing line out got this weird problem underground that I didn't know how to fix, and I was only taking a shower every few days, and I was afraid that it would turn me like I was afraid that it would like make my face and private parts and everything like not look as good and stuff. But and today I took 4 showers, but I took one really good long shower. I thought that'd be all I'd have to take, and everything would be do whatever, do what I felt like, because everything was finally okay. He fixed the problem, and then I had to keep going back and working on the house, like cleaning up after all the stuff that had gotten behind because I couldn't use the water as much. But then I kept having to take a shower after I got this weird ass dirt. It was like on me, and then I'd take a shower, and I end up having to, no matter how I felt, having to keep going back and taking a shower. I had to do it 4 times, no matter how I felt. because the house had. But I feel bad about that guy because I think he's getting into heaven. I think he's getting into heaven, but I don't know. But I think he attacked me because he thought that I had blocked him or something. And if I was like California, Italian or something like that, and maybe he would try to block. But I don't know if that's in my brain. I don't know. But I think he might get into heaven. I always thought he'd get into heaven, but something happened where he does. I think politically he's a little different from me. He's like the real Republican, whatever spectrum that she, and I don't know. But you know, when it comes down to it, I kind of like the liberal stuff, even though I'm Christian and believe in family values. The other stuff, I'm a liberal. When I see a black person, they are no different than they're no. I don't see any that much difference. I wouldn't marry a black person, because I have Danica and my kids who one day I plan to be with again. I don't care if I have to be celibate for however much longer. It's already been years. Um, but I think Danica's going to be back with me. I'm pretty sure she's going to be back with me. I don't know how. I think that's what's going to happen. I think. And that's, when you're married to someone as you get older, that may not always be, you don't get to be with some young woman or something like that. And I would never get to again. And that's okay with me. I can get old or whatever. And people have that tendency to want to have sex. But as long as she's living and okay and a woman, that's all that I want with her. For her to be okay, as long as she's okay, doesn't matter. I'd like her to be happy. If she feels happier, looking better about herself, doesn't matter that much about the way she looks. I can pretend and say she's perfect and beautiful. It says in the Bible, when you're married, it's okay. It's okay to say your wife is perfect and has no, well, God is the only perfect one. But to look at your wife as being the most beautiful one. So if you're able to look at her in those ways, and you should be able, it's okay to give her all of that, not to anyone else. It's wrong to give that to anyone else. Unless you're just small, and it's just wrong to give that to anyone else. You give that to your wife, wherever she is. She's not here. I look pretty good in this video. Kids at the bar. Hugh J. News is a young man, pretty much. He's younger than someone else I'd call a young man. I think the oldest he is like 32. He might be in his 20s. He met a woman. I don't know. He's okay. Maybe he's okay. The kids at the bar. Ugh. Well, do you want to be with that woman? Is she special, Hugh Janus? Is she special, someone who can keep you company?
Yeah. I'm a lesbian.
Hugh Janus is like a young man, but he's a real person. Hugh Janus is a lot younger than me. I'm like 43. He's probably, I think he has good looks. You should maybe you can be together or something and get along with one another. I don't know. I guess, maybe you can get along. I got to get out of here. Okay. Bye. Click like in the video. See his age. Now he's got to look like he's Burt Reynolds when he's 52. Oh, no. Okay, bye.